Hi there, it's Justin from Justin Has Tourette's. I'm back for another video. Today I'm going to be talking about Tourette's and my experience. So, it was probably about 6, 7 years ago now that I started having the neck tics. I would do that, or I would shrug my shoulder. Um, and I would be constantly doing that all the time, or I would snap my head back. I went to my family doctor, and he said, "It's just a tick, it's all right." So I kept having these neck ticks and shoulder shrugs, and my head would snap back from time to time. I would hit my head, and it would hurt. And so as time went by, I would get more ticks. My legs would kick. Um, my arms would swing out, and I would sometimes hit people, not meaning to. Um, I then went back to the family doctor, and I complained some more. And this time we started videotaping it, and I took some videotape to the doctor, and I didn't even get to show it to him because I was ticking so bad. I was having a hard time sitting still, and that's when he decided that it was time for me to see a neurologist. So, I some time had passed. Um, I finally got in to see a neurologist, and he examined me and looked at my MRI, and he wasn't sure. He said it was either Tourette's or this one other thing that I'm not sure what it was, but he asked me if my dad drove, and I said, "Yeah, my dad can drive. He drives truck for a living." And so he said, "Okay, it's not this other thing." And he said, therefore, he was leaning towards Tourette's, but he wanted to be sure. So he asked me if I would be willing to see a second neurologist. And so I said yes. And so a few months went by, and it came to be September, and I got to see the second neurologist. By this time, I had lots of video to show of my tics, which were mostly body movements, and I had one vocal tic where I would say "hey, hey" all the time. Um, so with that, the second neurologist, um, after reviewing the video footage and examining me and talking to me, he within 10 minutes of the appointment, he said, "You have Tourette's." And he said, "There is no cure for Tourette's." And that, but there was therapy, um, and there was also some meds that could help. So I tried a medication out. I tried a pill out called olanzapine, and it slowed it slowed things down at first, and I went about my business, and it was all right for a little while, and then my vocal tick went from hey to full sentences. I would say you're cheesy, and I would yell out sometimes swear words, um, which we all know in Tourette's that's called copralia, and I would have that, and my vocal tics just kept developing more and more, and it was changing all the time. And cherry blossoms, I like cherry blossoms. Um, um, tits, tits. Um, cheeseburgers, cheeseburgers are ready. Tits. Um, so yeah, as you can see, I've just had some tics there. Tits, tits, tits. Your tits are hanging out. She's got the cabbage pussy. Whoopsie doo. Um, so I went back to the second neurologist, and I told him that I was starting to have more vocal tics and tics where I was hitting myself. So he's prescribed me a second medication. That's an old blood pressure medication called clonidine. I started taking the clonidine with the olanzapine, and it slowed things down a little bit, but I was still ticking. Um, and then some more time went by, and I was having a lot of tics where I was hitting myself, and I couldn't stop hitting myself. And so he prescribed me another medication called Primazide. Um, so I'm now on 3 medications for my Tourette's, and during this time of having Tourette's, I developed depression, anxiety, and a mild case of OCD. My OCD is I worry at night that people are going to come into my house, so I make sure all the locks on the doors are locked. And sometimes I check this up to 6 times sometimes in a night. And so with that, I don't, for the OCD part, I don't take any medication, but I do have anxiety. And my family doctor put me on an anxiety pill, and he also put me on something for the depression. Um, Tourette's is hard. Um, Sometimes it can give you some limitations. Like for me, my neurologist asked me if I had a driver's license, and I said no, I don't. And he said good, because I would be taking it from you. So for me, I can't drive, unfortunately. Um, I would like to, but I can't, and that's just something I gotta deal with. Um, but yeah, one of my experiences with my Tourette's is I've had people laugh at me, point and laugh. One time I was shopping and this guy heard me tick, and he kept kind of like, it felt like he was following me, and so I was with my mom, and we went to the checkout, and we realized we forgot something, so I ran back through the store, and this guy said to his friend, "Hey, listen to this guy. He shouts out things." And at the time, I was saying cabbage pussy. And so they pointed and laughed, and I felt really embarrassed about it. Um, so yeah. Um, Another experience that I've had is that I've had a lady get into my face because she thought that my tics were directed at girls. Because I would say things like cabbage pussy and your tits are hanging out. That was a tick that I had, was your tits are hanging out. Um, and this lady got into my face about it and yelled at me and said that she was going to get me when I'm by myself. So she had threatened me, and because of that, I had to bring the police into it. And uh, that was an ordeal. The police came out. Um, they read, I had my doctor's note out that says I have Tourette's, and so they read that, and the police, they were on my side, and they went and they talked to the lady, and the lady had apologized to the police, and the police explained to her that I have Tourette's and that it's a neurological condition that I have no control over. So, with that, it's, I have my good days and bad days. Um, Lately, I've had more good days with my Tourette's. The meds, they work well. Um, you're fucking gay. Ugly. Um, Ugly. You're so ugly. Tits. Tits. Titties. Titties. Tits. Sorry. Sorry. Tits. Yeah. Fuck it. Tits. This is some of my tics that come out. And it's not fun. I get really scared to leave the house. And it makes it really hard to go out in public because I'm afraid of that I'm going to get attacked by people, that I'm going to tick and it's going to be the wrong things going to come out of my mouth and somebody's going to take offense to it. So yeah, that's one thing I worry about a lot. Yeah, then that's all I have to say for the video today. Um, if you like my video and you find it helpful, give it a like. If you're new to my channel and you like it, give it a subscribe. If you have any comments, leave them in the comment box below. I would love to get some feedback from people. And yeah, I just want to say thank you to everybody who has subscribed and who continues to support me. Bye.